I'm joined now by NewsNation political editor and host of The Hill Sunday, Chris Stirewalt. Chris, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning to you.
One of the things that I've noticed when you compare the RNC, when they had their moment in the spotlight, and the DNC, is Republicans and Donald Trump didn't quite know what they were up against, right? Kamala Harris was part of the conversation, but she wasn't the target. Whereas now with the DNC, they have Trump squarely in their focus, and every single speech continues to build on, attacks against him. Does that work for the Democrats right now, in addition to having the spotlight, but knowing what they're up against and a clear message?
You know, every cycle we hear that people are going to change the rules of politics and make things different. And usually it's not true. This time it's been true. Democrats were able to do something that many Republicans probably wish they could have done, and replace an unpopular older candidate at the top of the ticket with somebody new. And Republicans had hoped that maybe they'd have a Ron DeSantis, let's say, on stage, but it didn't work out that way for them. So they leaned into the idea of Donald Trump. And we saw a Republican National Convention that was very, very, very much the party of Donald Trump. And they rocked it, right? Hulk Hogan ripped his shirt off is the crescendo moment of the Republican convention. Kid Rock and all of that stuff. And they leaned in and did the best that they could with that and had a successful convention. What Democrats have done, and if you think about it this way, Democrats in 2016 were divided. When they faced Donald Trump, they were divided. They had had a difficult primary with Bernie Sanders, and a lot of people in the party were unhappy about Hillary Clinton. It was a fraught and freighted space, and the party didn't know exactly what it was doing because they were coming off of Barack Obama, a popular incumbent, and going to a nominee that they weren't really crazy about. Now, 8 years after that, you saw in the United Center, you see in Democrats the refresh, the reset, and Democrats feeling like they're back where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, you almost wonder, did they have this planned all along? Because even a month ago, Chris, the Democratic Party was fractured, saw no way forward trying to get President Biden out of the picture. And now she's got all this momentum. So I guess once the convention, is over and we've got a lot of time between now and November, is this a level playing field given the momentum Kamala Harris is seeing?
One of the old conventions of politics is you let your opponent have convention week, right? You don't try to get in the story. And you saw why that's a rule. You saw Donald Trump look small, right? Reading off a script down here, standing in front of, in the sheriff's department garage. And then you see Kamala Harris with, tens of thousands of adoring fans cheering her on and all of that stuff. So the thing for Republicans is they have to take their beating this week. Kamala Harris got a big boost when she came in. Democrats were, and lots of independents, were very relieved that Joe Biden left the race. So she gets this boost. Now we find out, as we hear from Tim Walz tonight, and Kamala Harris gives her presentation on Thursday, we get to find out, did they get their convention bounce early? History tells us convention is worth a couple of points, 1.5, 2 points usually in the polls. You get a convention bounce, your party feels good, people are united and enthusiastic. Did she get that early with the ticket switch, or is there more juice to come? Because what Republicans have to be worried about is how much are they going to need to claw back starting next week? How hard are they going to have to go? Because the next moment to really change the direction of the race comes on September 10th, when the two of them face off for their first and maybe only debate.
Yeah, a critical, pivotal moment in this entire cycle. I want to get to one clip from last night, and it's about the messenger, right? We've heard from the Obamas, they're a political powerhouse, but then you've got some Republicans who are stepping up to the mic saying, I don't want to see another 4 years of Donald Trump. Here is Stephanie Grisham.
And that's because I love my country more than my party. Kamala Harris tells the truth. She respects the American people, and she has my vote.
She used to work for Trump very closely, Chris, and we've got Republicans who are coming to social media saying we are switching over to the Harris campaign because we see the future there. How does Trump combat that?
He says that they're losers and terrible and weak and awful and that they're the worst.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.